Hello, hello. I am James, and I live in Manchester in the UK. And you're listening to English with a Brew, a podcast where I talk about different day-to-day topics to help you learn English the most natural way possible. And that is only by listening to it. And if you want to support this podcast, read transcripts, and get exclusive access to more episodes, go to patreon.com/English with a Brew. As we say in Manchester, get a brew on, and let's get started. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm always excited to record these episodes, but today I'm especially excited, and that's because I'm going to discuss one of my favourite things, or phenomena, about language, both language in general and the English language. Today I'm talking about onomatopoeias. Maybe you already recognize the word, because I think that the word sounds similar in lots of different languages around the world, especially in the languages that come from Latin, like Spanish, Italian, and French. It's a satisfying word to pronounce, but it's also incredibly difficult to spell. But what is an onomatopoeia? An onomatopoeia is any word that when you say it out loud sounds like the thing, it sounds similar to the thing that it is describing. So it can be anything. And nearly every language in the world has onomatopoeias. So it's a universal feature of language. So in this episode, I'm going to give you, or try to teach you, some of my favourite onomatopoeias in the English language. Some of the most obvious and well-known onomatopoeias in English are words that describe the different sounds or calls that animals make. For example, the word to describe the sound that a cat makes is meow. And well, it almost sounds exactly like the sound that they make. So it's quite self-explanatory. Or a cow. Cows moo. And don't worry, I'm not going to imitate or try to do an impression of a cow on this podcast. These animal sounds are quite simple and short, but one that always makes me laugh, that I always find funny, is the call of a rooster. And a rooster is a male chicken. And the word we use to describe the sound that this rooster, this male chicken, makes is cock-a-doodle-doo. There are loads more, so I would recommend searching on the internet if you're interested in hearing more animal onomatopoeias. But some other onomatopoeias are used to describe situations or events that occur. For example, the word bang. You can use bang to describe lots of things, but it's usually when something makes a loud, short sound. Like when you play the drums, the musical instrument. You can say you're banging the drums, or someone is banging the drums. Or if you're at a birthday party of one of your friends, and there are lots of balloons, and somebody accidentally pops a balloon, it makes a bang. And actually, I just used another onomatopoeia, and that was pop. Popped a balloon. Another one is crash. Crash is, I suppose, similar to bang, but it's used more to describe loud sounds where maybe something breaks, like when you drop something fragile, like a glass or a plate, on the floor. But probably the most common use of the word crash is to describe a car crash when two or more cars or I suppose any vehicle, hit each other, that is called a car crash. But not every onomatopoeia is a loud sound. Some are used to describe sounds that are more quiet. Before we used phones and smartwatches or computers to tell the time, we used mechanical clocks or watches with physical elements and components inside. And so they make a small sound every second. And the word we used for that was tick, the tick of a clock. But often in children's stories, they would use tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock to describe a constant ticking noise. Although now, I think that means something else. Anyway, there are probably hundreds of onomatopoeias that I can't remember right now. So my question for you today is, what is your favourite onomatopoeia in your own native language? Are there any that sound similar to the ones I have just talked about? Or are there any that describe the same thing but sound completely different? I'd love to know. So leave a comment, or you can send me a voice message on Spotify. And that's it. So until next time, like always, take care. And that's everything for today's episode of English with a Brew. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did or if you didn't, and tell me which topics you'd like to hear me talk about in future episodes. And don't forget, you can read the transcript for this episode and get access to more exclusive content over on my Patreon page. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is where you are right now. Take care.